Welcome back. Today I'm going to discuss questions on communication. Last week I discussed a question that I received on a platform that I'm active on confidence. So please check it out. I'll leave the link in the description below. My name is Oyinka Akimade. I'm a workplace coach and a speaker, and I help people demonstrate confidence, communicate effectively, and have that mindset that they can own their workplace and enjoy working as professionals wherever they are. I also created a course on confidence, so please check out the link in the description below. To today's questions. I'll probably talk on one or two questions, time permitting. So, first question. What simple steps will make me a powerfully helpful communicator? What simple steps will make me a powerfully helpful communicator? I'm going to make an assumption here that this person that wrote or asked this question is already doing some form of communication, but just want a few tips that will make them better communicators. So the first tip I'm going to share is to watch your body language and the body language of the person you're conversing with. Body language, or let me put it this way, non-verbal communication takes a majority of the communication that happens when you're in a face-to-face scenario. And that is why when people have an open body language like they're listening to you, you think they're listening to you. The same thing goes if they give an eye, if they roll their eyes when they're talking to you, or you look distracted, they don't feel like you're talking to them. So watching your body language is extremely important to make you a powerful communicator. What are these body language examples? 1, have a welcoming face. Have a smile. Appropriately, of course, maybe at the beginning of a conversation or at the beginning of the meeting. Look like you're engaged with them. Don't just be engaged. You have to look like it. Here's why. People can't see what you're thinking or what you're feeling per se. They can only see the actions of your face, of your body, to interpret what they think you're thinking. So, have a welcoming face. School your emotions, Make sure you look open. More importantly, try to mirror the posture of the person you're speaking with. So if the person leans forward, subtly, I'm not saying you should over-exaggerate and do the same thing. No, you want to subtly, mimic the other person. If they move to one side, move a little bit to the side. Let them know that you're going along with them in the communication. Give a little nod. Let your expression be appropriate to the conversation that is going on. The expressions you really want to avoid, though, is that of anger, especially if it's anger against the person you're speaking to directly, because you don't want that person to close up. You really want to understand what they're trying to say so that you're able to address it and, communicate with them better. The other thing, too, is to watch for the other things the person may not be saying. Do they look nervous? Do they look angry? So you want to ask questions that may give you an answer to what you're trying to, interpret from their body language. So you may ask questions like, did that offend you? Did that upset you? What exactly about it was the most upsetting? And make sure that the questions are open-ended. So I know I asked earlier, did that offend you? That may be a yes or no question. And you may now follow up like, can you give an example of what exactly happened and how that made you feel? And that will give you insight into how the person feels and would help you maybe problem solve better. Okay, the second tip I gave was to learn as much background information as you can. This is invaluable. This is so important. Now, there are situations where you really can't learn much, but you can learn a little bit. So even if you're meeting someone for the first time, just ask them, tell me a little bit about yourself, or how did you start this business, or what made you get into this job? Why is this contract important to you? Just try to find out a little bit of the background information that would make it easier to do the job that you do. Have they experienced any recent losses? Have they experienced any recent wins? That would help you frame whatever you're going to offer them, depending on who you are and where you are. So learning background information gives you an idea on who the person is and how to best approach them. It also gives you some ideas. You would know people that are maybe detail-oriented, maybe when they're explaining some things. You will know people that, how they make their decisions. It gives you a lot of insight if you can find out as much background information as possible. So if you work for an organization, or if you work for your boss, find out things that have happened to them as related to the job that they do. So that way you understand why they say some things, or why they're resistant to some things, or why they're open to some things. It will just help your argument, or your, no, let me use the word argument. It will help your presentation. It will help you persuade your boss or your coworkers better. The third thing I said is don't underestimate the power of emotions. Listen, I have spoken to some guys who tell me, no, you're not supposed to be emotional at work. But the truth is, you cannot not be emotional. What you can do is to manage your emotions and control your emotions. But you want to be able to connect with people, I try to say, on the head level, and that is in the skill they do, in the job they do, in the work they're supposed to do, and on the heart level, the why. Why do they do what they do? Why do they want to do things in a certain way? Why don't they want to do things in a certain way? What are those emotions that make them like something or make them dislike something? And connect with those emotions. If something doesn't resonate with you as strongly as it resonates with them, that doesn't give you the right to underestimate how it made them feel. That's not the job. The job is try to understand them and understand where they come from, so that way you're able to know them better and meet their needs better and communicate with them better. So I'll go through the 3 tips again. 1, pay attention to the body language and the facial expression of yourself and the person that is communicating or speaking with you, especially, of course, in a face-to-face scenario. The second thing is to learn as much relevant background information as you can. Anything relevant to the job that you do, anything you think will help you perform your job better. Pay attention and find out about that. And the third thing is not to underestimate the power of emotions. When someone reacts emotionally about something, find out why. Connect with their why. Connect with the heart of what the person, or why the person is doing, what they're doing. Those will make you a powerful communicator. So that brings me to the end of my question for today. I hope you gained something from it. And next week, I'm going to talk about, how to form strong intra-office, like networking within your office, so that you're able to perform your jobs in a more professional way. I look forward to seeing you next week. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. I'll see you in the next video.